Yes, we are. Oh, wait. I need to edit something. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'll put repeat thingy was on. Uh, but yes, hello. Uh, we're here for another live stream of rendering uh my OC here and putting in my practice for rendering Bubs. And I just got done with finishing the skin. Um, I probably will come back to it. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to share along my rendering while talking and sharing along the fun. So yes, without further ado, let's get back into the flow of things. Oh, this is the wrong brush. Painting on the thing here. Okay. Now it's much better. I gotta make sure that to be self-aware when it comes to editing on layers. It's like it gets pretty multitaskable, and sometimes I forget that I'm actually not even working on a clipping layer. I'm working on the actual layer itself, and then that's when it can get it's like, well, dang it. And I eventually have to undo everything I just did. So that is a big no-no when it comes to rendering that I do want to avoid. But yes, I do hope that those of you who may be rewatching this are having a good day. Uh, most days have been pretty laid back, I can say, on my end, which is very nice. A lot of the times, things can get pretty eventful with things that go on around me, but I'm quite grateful that there's a bit of a breathing room, per se, with how things are right now. So that's always nice. It's very nice. I would say it's like when I really wanted to take initiative in getting better at drawing, that's when COVID happened. and it made for a great opportunity to pretty much silence everything and focus on improving, you know, because like there's so much noise. Uh, but then it's like when COVID happened, it was a pretty, you know, everyone was staying at home and all that, which I mean, it didn't bother me one bit. I mean, it was kind of like nothing much changed for me, honestly, as far as when COVID hit. It was just pretty funny, but yeah. So it made for a good opportunity, and I took it as a sign uh, to kickstart learning the drawing. So that was nice. It was a nice period of time. You know, it's something that I'm learning to get comfortable with is not being shy with hard edging when it comes to shading. It's like when I see contrast, it kind of feels like it looks scary to me in a sense. Not scary where it's, you know, that horror kind of scary, obviously, but like that kind of scary where it's like, is this really gonna work out in the end? Like, because contrast, when it looks good, it looks amazing. But when it looks bad, then it's just like, ugh, you know? So that's where I'm like, okay, so now I'm a little hesitant to, when it comes to contrast, because I don't want to overpower it. But at the same time, it's like, um, let's play around and see what sticks here in a sense, you know? So that is what I'm gonna be doing here. Especially with the kind of style I want to go for. It's not the traditional style, it's more like a painty kind of style, so hard edges and all that is kind of natural in that kind of style. So that's where it's like, okay, so let's build up a familiarity with this. So we'll be doing just that, you guys. We'll be doing just that. Seeing what happens. If it works, then amazing. Otherwise, we learn. Oh, yes. You know, whenever I'm thinking about shading, it's kind of nice to go about it and not be so strict with it, and kind of let my eyes determine what to do, because I'm a hardcore visual learner, so I don't do good with technicalities and details when it comes to learning how to draw. I'm more like a hands-on kind of approach when it comes to trying to understand and get better at drawing. So yeah, don't tell me, you know, don't give me the excess details. Just tell me the overall idea, and then I'll work up to understand it from there. Like when it comes to tutorials, for example, there's so many, honestly, and there isn't just one set way to learn, you know, like there's many different approaches to how to draw the body, and everyone has their own methods about it, and there's just so many methods about it. So that's why it makes it a little bit interesting to settle on one method, because there's so many of them, you know? So that's where it's like, okay, so now we got be determined on what kind of method we want for to draw. And so one in particular that I love is that I keep going back to as well is Michael Hampton's methods. So basically how to draw the form and the figure in his book, Design and Invention, and really love his book. He talks about it in a way that I can understand, and that's very grateful for. I'm very grateful for that. It gives me something to understand and work from, so that I don't have to feel so lost in like what it is that I have to figure out. Because like now I have a method that makes sense to me, and that now it's a simple application of it. So that's where it's like yay, because then it's a matter of trial and error and learning. So it's very nice. That's pretty much how it is with how I'm learning with everything at this point. Like right now at the moment I'm studying gesture. That's been my focus as of right now. And again, when I'm learning gesture, I'm primarily studying Michael Hampton's methods of drawing gesture. And then, of course, Xiaoming. I hope you have heard of him. He's a very amazing artist, and he's such a database for learning, and his sketches are always so nice to watch, man. Like it's very freeing whenever he posts and makes his sketches. Like that's the kind of method and feeling that I want to invoke when it comes to doing my Pinterest sketches. I mean, at this point, like I'm still, learning to translate realism into the anime style, so it's of course still room for improvement there. But then it's like, the people, they'll love it when it's like at that point where it's like, oh wow, it's crazy. And not to downplay myself either. I mean, I'm very happy with where I'm at with how I interpret realism into the style, but then it's like at the same time I understand that this is good, but we can do better. I know we can do better. So, important thing is to not settle for where I'm at. So that is where I want to leave it. So, yes. I think we can get away with that. Now we can just add in the highlights and such. So here's the thing I've noticed about like when it comes to rendering is like a little bit can go a long way. Like when it comes to lighting and the shading and all that, because less is more and all that. I mean, like when it comes to the drawing in the cartoony style, it's very there's a lot of simplifying in it, and that's where the learning becomes fun, because with me drawing in more cartoony but still respecting the concept of realism, I don't have to render all the intricate details in the body and the shading and all that. I can simply interpret it in a simple way and it still look pleasing to the eye. And that's where I love it when it comes to drawing in the anime style, because then it's like it's okay to not be okay with how it looks. And so that's where it's like very nice to think about it like in that way. Because the anime style simplifies a lot of things. That is what I absolutely love about it. Because there's just a lot to learn when it comes to drawing. And then in the cartoony style, it kind of breaks it down in a sense to where it's digestible. And so it's where it's like so good. Like when it came to me wanting to get into drawing, I love drawing. Like I love the feel of it, the story of it. Like being able to look at something and then draw it from nothing is like so fascinating to me. You know, like you see those like time lapses on TikTok where they're sketching and it just feels so like spiritual to me. And like it's very nice. And like Xiaoming, for example, every time this man does it, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm like fangirling right now, bro. Like it's so good. He's so good at what he does. And, he translates it beautifully. Like I want to be like that, you know, like with my Pinterest sketches and just overall with my skills to be able to just look at something and then just have it visualized in my head on how to draw it. Because then it's like, when I get to that point, then I mean, everything else is a matter of what is it that I want to draw? What am I in the mood to draw right now? Because then it's like, there is no method for stopping. There'd be no challenge that I can't take because I've already done it. I would have already done it like hundreds and hundreds of times. You know, it becomes like simple memory. So that's where it's always nice to realize that a lot about getting better at drawing is just repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And it has taken a lot of repetition for me to get where I'm at. I'm very happy with it. So definitely will never stop on that. Okay, I think that's good right there. On to the next one. which is the Bikuni. Now I kind of had to eyeball it a little bit because the hair in this reference, it covers it a little bit, but in Max's case, the hair is a little shorter, so we are improvising a little bit here. But let's see what we can come up with. I think we're getting somewhere here. The render is a little different. As far as looks is concerned, this is a little more brighter, and that in the reference is a little darker. And I wanted to change it to give it a little bit of contrast. I think this is looking pretty good. I really hate that stupid thing where it sometimes zooms in randomly. I don't know why it does that. Oh well. Oh well. We get on to the hair, and this is also where I kind of have to get a little creative, and use this reference here a little bit. And I'm just gonna see if we can dial it down a little bit for here. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. You know, I'm still figuring out how to know when it's enough when it comes to rendering and all that, because I want it to be complete, you know, have that complete feeling, and that's one thing I'm like trying to figure out is something complete here. So like, I'm seeing the background here that I did with the leaves or the trees, what have you, and thinking to myself like, I go back and forth of if I should go back to that in the end. Because as far as the background is concerned, I got the trees, working on the trees in the sky and all that, but not the chair and the floor. Because when it comes to rendering the backgrounds, I find that to be the real kicker to what it is that I should do. There's like there's all kinds of ways to go about it. It's not as simple as rendering the body, because the body there's only so much maneuvering that I can do, but with backgrounds there is all kinds of maneuvering, because you have like trees, concrete, chairs, and all that, you know. So it's different kinds of texture and overall atmosphere, to put simply. So that's where it's like, okay, so what to do from here? As like I was saying, talking and drawing is something that I'm still getting used to, like multitasking it and like understanding what it is that I'm doing is like, ooh, you know. So it's like I probably will take this with you guys and finish it with as much as I can, but um, I'm not afraid to admit that I'll come back to this after stream later and then post it. I'll be using this part of it for a thumbnail that I have in store for another video that I'm working on, and I'm looking forward to that, which is why I'm emphasizing on the Bubs part of it, because it's obviously a key part of what we should think about and talk about, because there is a inevitability when it comes to drawing better rests. You know, that's just simply drawing them more. It gets uncomfortable, obviously, you know, but it's like, it's a necessary process to get better at drawing them. You know, it's part of the process. One that is it's embarrassing to admit, but yeah, it's something that is important to know. And even then, I don't even know if I can finish it in time, because it's already 8 o'clock and I like to go to bed early, that way I can do things early. So I'm gonna give myself till like 9:30 at best. We'll see what happens. Because at the same time, too, I don't want to rush things either. That's another thing I'm coming to understand when it comes to doing these live streams. I may just uh, work on something in traditional kind of way and then go it from there, because, you know, when it comes to digital art, I want to take my time with it. When it comes to live streaming, there's kind of like that stigma to work fast. The setup, I'm thinking in doing it in a traditional way is pretty straightforward too, because uh, I already have a camera, I already have a monitor, even though the way I go about um, monitoring it is I don't have a cable for the camera to do it legitimately, so I kind of have to get creative with it. It still works. So it would still work even if I was to do it long term. I love to work in the sketchbook anyway, so it's really not much of a hassle for me, because, you know, I love it. Traditional, it's very refreshing to just hear the sound of the pencil go against the paper. So it's like there's another thing, like whenever I'm wanting to hone in on something, I like to get into the sketchbook and do it traditionally. So yeah. So, I'd like to talk about some inspiration for the design for Max, and it's quite simple, but still fun to think about. Like, randomly it came up, as far as her hair is concerned, it came up from Pinterest. I'm like, hey, that's actually a pretty cute hairstyle. I like it. And so I wanted to incorporate that into an original character. My first, actually. And so I thought it was like let me add in a bit of a highlight for the hair here. And in the actual reference itself, there are all kinds of highlights around the hair, but I actually did try doing that for a while, but then it's like I started to realize that in rendering it kind of looks like she is a pineapple head. So yeah, I kind of jumped in on that and just, you know, gave her the one hair highlight on uh, her front right here. Then it's like, okay, now that looks so much better. Um, and then when it comes to her actual body itself, like I wanted it to be short and not a tall character. It's tall characters, so there's all kinds of difference in proportions and all that. And then when it comes to her, you know, organic side of things, I wanted it to be voluptuous, so that it constantly puts me in that point of challenge. Because, I mean, let's be honest, when they're small, there isn't much to work with. Like, I don't mean to sound mean or, you know, attacking in any sort of the way. It's just, yeah, there isn't much action going on. So when it comes to drawing the big Bubs, though, then that's like, okay, now there's action going on. So that's why I made her voluptuous. And then when it comes to her red eyes, I wanted to do a little lower in that she is a vampire. One that sparkles like you'd see the Twilight movies, because I'm like, that would look so beautiful in an actual, like, fan art. Like, I would want to do a fan art of her expressing that trait eventually. And so I'm just thinking, like, how would I do that? Because it would have to look pitch perfect, you know? So we'll talk about that much later, though, in showcasing it. But for now, it's just that simple. She has the red eyes because she is secretly a vampire. And then the cross, of course, I'm Christian, so I wanted to incorporate that into the original character. But other than that, yeah, that's basically her design right there for you. Her trademark clothing, when it comes to it, is a yellow jacket. And again, it was part of a reference that I came across on Pinterest. So I was like, you know what, yeah, let's do that. It adds her happy attitude, and that's where I liked it. And then, as of late, I added a sunflower tattoo on her back for her design. And because it added more depth to her character, I feel like it did. And tattoos are very fun to draw. So yeah, I think that pretty much is good there. What are we doing next? Ah, yes, the cross. Speak of the devil. Or in this case, I guess you would say speak of God. But yeah, it's very fun when it comes to original characters and all that. Primarily, my favorite artist, of course, he has original characters too, like that represent his manga in famous example is Takagi, you know, because it's Tsuchiri. Excuse me, it's Tsuchiri Yamamoto. And he, Takagi is like his poster girl. Is it? Because it's like the anime was a top hit. You know, it was a. And why wouldn't it be? It was. As it's so funny, it has a good atmosphere and it uh, is compelling. That makes you want to, you know, sit down to the end. At least for me, it did for sure. Like, I could have gone on for like 5 seasons more, man. Like, it was just, I was just that, found it so love with it. I was just that much in love with it. So it was a very, like, empty kind of feeling when it ended. Because it's like, well, dang it, what do I do now? You know? So, yeah, like, I would want to do that for my own path, like having an original character and then that original character being an anime. Like, I don't know what I would put max in as far as manga would be concerned. Like, what kind of story would it be about? Like, I would obviously want to include her status of being a vampire into it, and then just it opens so many pathways for like, what can I include that in? Because I mean, I could just do a rip off and kind of base loosely off Twilight, but then it's like, you know, it's already been done before. I want to be more original with it, you know. So that's where it's like, okay, we're brainstorming there. But I suppose we'll lay down a more official kind of story when we actually get to that point in our talk. Because that's gonna take some years for sure. But I would absolutely love to make a manga. Because it's storytelling is so amazing. I just love storytelling. When I was a kid, I would always play with my toys and tell all kinds of stories with those toys, no matter how different their character was. I'd always love doing it, you know. And I feel like that is like where that little boy uh, part of myself really comes out and has fun again. So that's where it's like, okay, like I'm excited and I want to get better. So that we can get to that point. I believe in myself that we will get to that point, which is why we are working towards it. I think that's good right there. Oh, this is the rings. But going back to talking about manga and all that, like even then, like I was going through some of the old, one of the very first chapters that Soichiro Yamamoto was with the Takagi manga, and I'm like, wow, like he was like so different. It looked so different to like the actual manga, like modern chapters that he would do, because he was still developing things himself. So it was like it's very refreshing to know that he didn't wait to have it figured out, essentially, to make a manga. Like he was working on his style, and here he is now. So it's like, I love that. Very inspirational, that guy. Oh my god, I just realized okay, we're gonna come back to the bikini here shortly. Which is right now. This is another one of those instances where you get so focused on one set area, then you forget there's another set of areas. So let's see if we can fix this real quick. Anyway, what was I saying again? Yeah, it was very refreshing to see that with his manga, and I think it was in one of the Twitter posts, it was like he went back into the first chapter and redid it in his current style, and it was like, yeah, the immense difference is there. So it's like very wholesome to see that, you know, because like it was only like a little few more chapters later that then it was starting to look like the style that he has right now. So yeah, it's very refreshing. Think about it like that. Now he got that fall. But yeah, I think I am gonna call it for this one for now. It is already 9 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna call it in early today, so that I can finish this right off the bat tomorrow. There's all kinds of things that I have in mind that are going to be coming. So yes, this is where I'm gonna call it for tonight. I hope you've had a good time and fun time watching in, and for those of you watching in later, that you have yourself a good night or a good morning and what have you with all that. And I had fun rendering this and sharing along bits and pieces of how things are. So yes, with all that being said, that's gonna do it for this one, and I will see you later. Bye bye.